What's good, ladies and gents? Welcome back to MKO Boxing, aka MKO Pugilism, where we talk all things box. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube. Sorry, follow on TikTok, all that good stuff. So anyway, let's talk about this one. So in this one, I'm just gonna give a bit of an update on the Itauma versus Dillian Whyte fight. As many of you will know by now, that is next. That is coming up. It's one of those fights that I was in my previous video. I did mention that it's not a fight that's going to be very good for Dillian. I think it's going to be a one-sided beatdown by Itauma. But anyway, it takes place. That's the main event taking place on the 16th of August. And what I'm going to talk about in this video is the undercard. So the undercard looks like a good undercard, to be honest with you. You've got some decent fights on there. You've got just to mention the four that I see on this poster here. So you've got Nick Ball versus Sam Goodman. Good fight there. Nick the Wrecking Ball from Liverpool always comes to fight, puts it on the line. That's a good fight. And then you've got another one, a guy that Nick Ball has actually fought, and many would argue lost to this guy, which is Raymond Ford, and he's fighting Anthony Kakache for Kakache's world title. So great for Anthony Kakache, who seems to be having an Indian summer, as he's like believe he's 36 years old, but he still fights like a young man, not much miles on the clock. And he takes on Raymond Ford. That also good fight, because Ford's a very good fighter. I think just a sole loss to Nick Ball, and that was very, very debatable, very, very close fight. Could have gone either way. So yeah, those two, Kakachi and Ray Ford, again, good fight, very, very good quality fight, and it's worth tuning in for that. And Nick Ball, Goodman, again, good one. And then you got exciting Japanese prospect. You got Hayato and Tsutsumi. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Hayato Tsutsumi. I believe that's his pronunciation. And he's facing Kas Ashfaq. That also shapes up to be a good fight. I got to see Hayato Tsutsumi in the Times Square card, the card that wasn't actually very entertaining, not such a great card. Haney and Garcia, Lopez, they all their fights were quite disappointing as far as the spectacle goes and entertainment value goes. But yeah, he's an exciting guy. Tsutsumi Kasash. Fact, I haven't seen much of him, but I think again you're looking at an exciting fight style wise, because I know that certainly Tsutsumi does bring it. And then you've got another fight, which is a bit of a wild card, which is Filip Hrgovic versus David Adelaide. And this is quite a crazy matchup. This is a very sort of random matchup, because it's not something that I could have ever predicted, really, because you got two guys in there where you got Filip Hrgovic, who's boxed at the very highest level, only lost to Daniel Dubois, and that's world title, and that's his only loss. He's been able to beat Gilles Zhang, Joe Joyce, people like that, and Hrgovic is right there or thereabouts. He's like a top heavyweight. He hasn't really, he's only that one blemish on his record. And then you've got David Adelaide, who's lost at domestic level, sort of British European level, to Fabio Wardley. So you got two guys there where one guy's kind of, I would say, British level, not quite proven himself at any, higher than that. And then he's up against one of the best heavyweights in the world. So it's not that Adelaide doesn't have potential. He does have bags of potential, but he hasn't really proven to be sort of the best heavyweight in this country as yet. That would be, I would say, Fabio Wardley. So he's kind of around that British level, maybe a bit better than that, but he's yet to prove it. And he's in against, Hrgovic, who's a proven world level heavyweight. Not the best heavyweight in the world, but certainly one of the best. Certainly in, in and around the top 10. So this is, in terms of levels, this is a bit of a, you could say, a bit of a mismatch in a way, as far as levels and where they've both been at and where they're both proven at. Adelaide's fallen short at domestic level. So again, although you could argue, I suppose, in heavyweight boxing, it only takes one punch to change everything, and Adelaide certainly can punch, but this is definitely a massive step up for David Adelaide. This will be the best guy he's ever boxed, and yeah, we'll have to see what he's got. He's got a chance. He's got kind of a puncher's chance, but yeah, it's an interesting fight because it's out of left field, and yeah, didn't see it coming. But hey, I think it will be explosive. For me, looking into that fight now, I think you've got to back Filip Hrgović to do that job and do it in style, simply based on levels, because he's levels above David Adelaide, levels above anywhere or anyone that David Adelaide has fought. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe Adelaide surprises, gets one punch in there and takes Hrgović out. But yeah, it's an interesting one, and regardless of the difference in class, I think it is going to be entertaining. So overall, good card. Let me know your thoughts on this undercard of Dillian Whyte versus Itauma. Let me know in the comments. Until next time, MK Boxing, over and out.